Hello everyone, I am Professor Deepti Jain at Transportation Research and Injury Prevention Center, Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. Today I'll be discussing the key findings from our project Gendered Approaches for Addressing Adaptation Capacity to Hot Weather Conditions in Delhi. Delhi lies in the semi-arid zone and experiences longer summers with maximum temperatures even reaching up to 45 degrees Celsius. In recent years, not only we have experienced higher temperatures, but also we have experienced the number of days recording high temperatures have increased. Between 2019 and 2022, number of days recording more than 44 degrees Celsius has just increased from mere 18 to 31. Through the Census of India data, we understand that women participation rate in work is comparatively much less than that of men. The data also shows that women work more as compared to men. Their lower work participation rate results in ignoring women travel needs and therefore their ignorance in the transportation planning and transportation system approach. We understand that women are likely to travel more during the high temperatures, resulting in higher exposure. This is related to various reasons, including their involvement in multiple roles, including societal, for the livelihood, and household care and activities. Between men and women, women share more responsibility for household and caregiving responsibilities. This results in their limited time availability to pursue activities in out of home settings. Mostly the trips incurred by them are complex and they need to travel multiple destinations within the same route and tour. Through research, we have established that women travel more by walk and more during the daytime. This is likely to result in overall higher exposure to the higher temperatures for women as compared to men. In this research, we understand and we explore and understand how women travel and how does their travel patterns compare with men, what are their exposure levels to the high temperature conditions, what kind of adaptation choices are being opted by the women as compared to men to reduce their exposure levels. Through workshop, we co-design solutions to mitigate and adapt to the high temperature conditions. Today in the presentation, I'll be discussing about the key differences in terms of the travel patterns between men and women. What is the status of the infrastructure in supporting the commute of women? And lastly, to also explore what are the vulnerabilities of women and how it is related to the men. In this project, we first started with selecting 3 schools of different typologies in Delhi, where we recruited parents as participants for furthering our research. The location of the parents were mapped to identify 10 neighborhoods. In each neighborhood, we selected 2 streets. 20 streets were audited, and on these streets, we also collected data on thermal conditions using thermal sensors. We also procured CCTV footage to understand the variations in the traffic volume by the time of the day and season. With the recruited parents, we conducted repeated surveys over 2 different seasons, March, which is comfortable, and May, which is a hot weather in Delhi. Now I'll be discussing about the key findings. First, I'll be breaking the myth, that is drawing a comparison between how women and men travel. Through the responses, we measured that on an average 3.5 trips are made per person per day by women. This number is quite similar to as that of men. Women spend 21 minutes per trip. As compared to this, men are spending 26 minutes per trip. However, the major difference lies in how and when women travel. We find that 41% of the trips incurred by women are during the daytime, that is between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. During this time, the temperature is at the peak. As compared to this, only 26% of the trips are incurred by men during this time. Women travel more for picking up and dropping off the children as compared to men, and they also intend to travel more for shopping as compared to men. How women travel, we find that across different income groups, women travel more by walk. Even in the highest income group, 30% of the trips are made by walk as compared to only 18% of the trips made by walk by men. Not only women walk more, but also they tend to walk longer distances across the different income groups, resulting in higher exposure to higher temperatures. Next, we explore the variation in travel patterns between the two different seasons. For this, we compared the model shares between the two different seasons for men and women. We also recorded what are the likely temperatures experienced in different modes of transport. As cars can have air conditioners fitted in them, the temperature inside the cars can be controlled. Here we took an average of 26 degrees Celsius. But while walking during the months of May, the maximum temperature ranges between 41 to 45 degrees Celsius. While walking or using any of the open modes, the users of the mode experience the same temperature as that of the environment. We find that women are not able to change their mode of transport. The overall increase in the car share during the summers is only by 5%. As compared to this, men are not only able to reduce their walk share, but they are almost able to increase their car share by 18%. Not only there is a difference in how women travel and how men travel, but also there is a difference in the exposure duration. We find that by the different modes of transport, males are more likely to reduce their exposure duration as compared to females. While for both males and females, we find that those who are walking, there is no change in the exposure duration. Exposure duration over here refers to the average travel time spent per trip by the different modes of transport. We also find that the e-rickshaw usage increases for both males and females, but the bicycle usage decreases for the males. We also find that there is a slight decrease in the personal vehicle usage by the males. As compared to this, females' exposure may increase by bicycles and may also increase by the four-wheelers. As women tend to walk more irrespective of the season, it is important to understand the status of the existing infrastructure that supports walking. For this, we audited 20 streets of Delhi and measured the quality and availability of walk infrastructure on the streets. Amongst the different typologies of the streets, lanes which are less than 10 meter wide do not have segregated footpaths. Here, the population is expected to walk along the carriageway, which are mostly occupied by the motorized vehicles. Also, with regard to other street typologies, we find that availability of footpaths may range from being 50% to 100%. Only a lesser share of footpaths, even though available, is actually walkable. This pertains to the maintenance of the footpath and the encroachment by different types of activities happening along the footpath and in the roadside, which includes parking of the vehicles and deposition of the construction debris. Overall, we can say that the walking infrastructure is mostly not present in the city. We also measured the thermal conditions on the streets of Delhi, and we found that the temperature may vary from 30 degrees Celsius to up to 38 degrees Celsius across different streets. The variation is determined by the street typology, the amount of urban activity, and the abutting built infrastructure. Overall, we find that women travel more or less the same as men. They travel more during the daytime when temperatures are highest and they are more dependent on walking. This all results in their higher exposure to high temperature conditions as compared to men. While walking infrastructure is mostly absent and wherever it is available, it is either broken or not maintained or encroached by various activities. We identified that various mitigation and adaptation measures can be adopted to reduce the temperatures and reduce the exposure to high temperature conditions. We also find that there is an immediate need to provide safe, walkable and thermally comfortable conditions which can help in reducing the vulnerability of women. Thank you for listening to us. If you have any feedback, please share it using the QR code. You can contact us at any time for any queries. Thank you.